Right, well, Duncan, sun's out. It's nice for training. We've just been discussing, but also nice to have a convincing win away from home.
Yeah, it was very pleasing. You know, when your plans actually they work out. You know, I'd said to you in the last couple of weeks that I was trying to prevent losses, and we did that, and then to turn the draws into wins, because I think, you know, we could have had a lot more points at the draws, to be honest with you. And it was just really nice to go to, you know, away from home as well. And I went to see Tamworth midweek, and they were outstanding against Kettering. They beat them 3-1, albeit Kettering went down to 9 men in the second half, but it was 3-0 at half time anyway. And they looked really bright going forwards, and I thought, you know, we'll have a test today. I really did, and we prepared the players for that. And the players responded absolutely magnificently, and it was just so. I can't tell you the last time we had a clean sheet.
9 games ago.
Well, there you go. So it's great that we've got a clean sheet, and I'm really pleased about that, because that does mean a lot. And I think those, you know, I brought Danny Spence in, and I thought he did an outstanding job for us, to be honest with you. And I thought we looked really solid at the back, and when I look back at the game, I think they had 2 chances probably in 90 minutes. So, you know, that's convincing as well in your defending responsibilities, you know, to narrow people's chances. And I thought we played really well as a team.
What was more pleasing for you, the first win since January or the first clean sheet in those 9 games?
I think the win, really, because like I said, you know, I've been biting it to get 3 points, and we did that on Saturday. But also, you know, I do really, you know, I think a lot about keeping clean sheets. If you keep clean sheets, you don't lose games, do you? And we'll always create chances in a game, as we did against, you know, in the first half. Really, I know it ended at 0-0 in the first half, but we had chances in that first half. Louis Moult had a chance, Louis Briscoe, Paul Connor. So we'll always create chances. I can't think of a game where we've never created chances. So if we can keep clean sheets and take the opportunity when we go forwards, then I think we'll end up with more points than not.
Let's come on to your league position, back into the top half of the table. It's a step in the right direction,
yeah,
isn't it? But take the number of games that you've played. 4 games in hand on the side that are sat 5th at the moment. I mean, win those and the season takes a different complexion, does it not?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've spoke to the players. This is one thing I spoke to the players about last week, when, you know, I said don't look at the table just yet. You know, we've got these games in hand. If we can turn those games into wins, and there's every reason why, you know, why we can't. There's no reason why we can't, I should say. And I think, you know, that only leaves you a couple of points off it then. And then, you know, the teams that normally come just outside the playoffs to break into the latter part of the season, because obviously the teams that are in the playoffs, you know, they may flutter, they'll be panicking not to want to drop out of it, and then you have nothing to lose then, do you? You know, you've got something to fight for, and we've got a great opportunity to do that with the games in hand.
Talking of sides falling away from the playoffs, you take Newport for example. They were flying at the start of this season, they sit just above you now. It's a case coming into the back end of every season, is it, when who can hold their nerve? And that may be a test that your players are going to have to come through in the coming weeks. Yeah,
but I think, like I say, I think we've got the mixture of youth and senior players at the club that have been through similar scenarios, because it is an important part that, you know, the tail end, the latter part of the season. You've got to hold your nerve, and if you do that, you know, you reap the rewards for that. And like you just said, Newport, I mean, you know, had an outstanding start, you know, but I think, I'm not saying it's because of the new manager, but I think their demise happened when they lost Dean Holdsworth. It all seemed to have gone wrong since he left, because that does have an effect on players as well. And you've got to try and regroup them really quick. And I'm sure they'll put it right.
The club have made an appeal last week to the Football League and the Football Conference to postpone the decision about the ground as to whether they'll be allowed to play in the playoffs should you get there. Have you got any news on that decision that you could tell us?
No, nothing at all. I've got a meeting this afternoon with the chief exec, and I'm going to go through, obviously, you know, lots of things, budgets and stuff like that, and that will obviously be one of the things on my topic of discussion, to find out where we sit with that. So, but I haven't got anything for you at the moment.
Let's come on to Chasetown then. It's the biggest game of the season again, almost. I mean, you've played them once back at your place. Surely it's just a case of getting the job done, is it not?
Well, it's not just a case of getting the job done. It's about the players being right to get the job done. You have to earn the right. I feel as if we play anything like we played against Tamworth, I don't think we will have many problems. You know, you've still got to give them respect. They've still got players in their team that can score goals and can upset you, as we've seen in the latter part of the game against them last week. But I think if we're anything like we should be, which I'm hoping the players will be, and there's a good buzz around the camp again, to be honest with you, I think we could go and get our victory tomorrow.
I was going to say, how do you manage the players at the minute? Because we were talking off there about the fact you've got 14 games between now and the end of the season, and that's a minimum. I mean, you can't get much training done, surely. It's got to be a case of resting those legs.
Yeah, it's been very difficult. That's why hence, when the game was called off on the Saturday, I gave them a weekend off. Not all managers believe in doing that, but I do believe that with what we've got coming up in front of us, we need to balance the rest with the work rate, and we're going to have to look at that very, very, very closely. I'll get the fitness coach to monitor the heart rates, because obviously that can give us a figure that tells us obviously if they're going into sort of exertion and that type of thing. So we'll keep a close look on that, and if I need to rest players, I'll rest players. If they've got to rotate the squad, I'll have to rotate the squad.
You've been very open about trimming the squad since you took on the job full time. I mean, have you got the squad big enough at the minute, do you feel, to be in a position whereby you could rotate it game upon game?
I'll be bringing Precy back from his loan at Telford. I've obviously got Nyla Rafferty back in the side now. I might even be bringing young Conor Gism back into the squad. I've been really impressed with him in training, and I think he's at an age where I think if you're good enough, you're old enough, and he'll be coming back into the squad as well. I'm still looking to make additions, which I still keep under the radar. I'm still trying, but I feel it. If we approach it the right way and we train, we temper the training with the rest, then we should be 100% to have a go at it.
Disappointed with the 2-2 draw away from home against Chasetown in the first part of this tie. From that game, where do you feel your side is stronger than Chasetown?
I think going forwards and the chances that we create, I can't remember them creating too many chances against us, to be honest with you. I thought the 2 goals were, I spoke to the Groffy about that. It's one of those things that all keepers experience, and hopefully that won't happen again with him. And I felt we should have been alive on the first one as well. And I just believe that we probably have a bit too much for them going forwards.
And in regard to team news, Alan Marriott, he was close last week.
Yeah,
is it a case of he might be starting soon?
Well, I spoke to Alan on the Friday prior to obviously travelling down to Tamworth, and he's not 100% yet, and I don't want to risk him. I really don't, because I think it's a crucial part of the season now. We've got 3 very, very good goalkeepers. Again, we're lucky to have that. We've got 3 very, very good wingers. We're lucky to have that. So, but Alan Marriott is getting stronger and stronger with each training day. Any
other knocks or injuries to report on before tomorrow night's game?
No, not really, no. Everything's okay.
Cheers, Duncan, thank you.
Thank you.
Is Neil Collett fit? No.
Yeah, his scan results have come back now, so it's a case of, 3 keepers have got to vying for their slots, aren't they?
Yeah. Scan results just said nothing.
No, he had some. I mean, Jason will give you obviously the medical terminology for it. I think he had some wear and tear on one of his meniscus in his cartilage, I think, but it was nothing that they had to intervene.
Has Reece had his operation yet?
He has his operation Tuesday, tomorrow.
Yeah.